Okay, it's Coach Jim Stroker, and I have had the luxury of traveling all across the United States. And I've had a chance to deliver inspirational stories to a number of different groups, all kinds of groups. But the most powerful story that's ever been told is the story that I'm going to tell you today. And I'm going to give you that as a gift. But don't forget, the story that's most important is your story. So listen to this one, see if it moves you to want to become your best self. Okay, this is a story that takes place up in upstate New York. And the story starts out with this little kid, this boy, this 9-year-old kid who already has found his passion. And his passion, of course, has to do with this, the pigskin, the football. He loves it. I mean, he loves the feel of it. He loves the shape of it. He sleeps with it. He walks with it to school. He loves it. And this little kid, his name is Henry Peterson. So Henry's dad sets up his work schedule. So every day at 3:30, when Henry gets out of school, his dad gets off of work and comes walking down the street with his dog that he brings to work. And every day his dad does, and Henry hears the whistle. He's in the backyard. And Henry, who's learned to whistle like his dad, goes, and they've got this whistle connection. His dad comes home, and every day they go out in the backyard, and his dad like creates these fantasy games for Henry. Like he holds the football for him. Henry kicks a game-winning field goal. Henry's dad throws the ball on the ground, and Henry grabs on the ball, picks it up, and runs for a touchdown. And he and his dad have this bond, this football bond. Well, as the story goes on, Henry, of course, you know, this is back in the early 30s, and there's not a lot of Pop Warner football, so he doesn't play, but plays every day with his dad until it comes time to go to high school, and Henry goes out for the high school team. But of course, there's got to be a challenge. There's got to be an obstacle for the hero, and Henry is one of the smallest kids in the school. I mean, he's undersized. He's not built really for football. But he goes out for that team, and every single game, Henry's there cheering for his teammates, holding the bags, and every game, every one, his dad comes and goes in those stands, sits up in the stands, and at the end of every single game, Henry runs off and, of course, goes, and his dad from the stands, and they connect. Well, Henry goes through, and true story now, Henry plays in 3 games as a high school football player and carries the ball 4 times for 14 yards. That's it. Well, Henry decides it's time to go to college. And he applies to this incredible school, Georgetown. And Georgetown has a great educational program where he can be a teacher, but they also have, in those days, one of the greatest college football teams in the nation, led by great coach Jack Haggerty. So Henry, lo and behold, gets into Georgetown. His dad and his mom bring him down there. They let him off. And the first week, he's walking down the hallway from his dorm, and he looks up on the wall, and there's a poster. And the poster says, tryouts for the Georgetown incredible team today. Well, Henry gets on the phone and calls his dad and says, Dad, what do you think? Should I go for it? And his dad says the same thing all the time. Henry, you go for it. Don't play it safe. His dad is his hero, his best friend. His dad is his model of strength and courage. And so Henry is just excited and goes out for the team. Well, Coach Jack Haggerty is out there on the field looking at 121 young men who are trying out for the team. And he notices this kid, this little kid, this undersized kid. His effort is amazing. His energy, like that kid's unreal. And Haggerty looks over to one of his assistants and says, get that kid on the team. We'll put him on the backup club. We'll make him part of the scout team. He'll help this team. Well, Henry leaves the tryouts, walks out, walks into the trainer's room and sees the list on the door, and he sees his name, Henry Peterson. He immediately gets on the phone and says, "Dad, we did it, we did it." Well, Henry is on that team, and for 4 years, Henry holds the bags. Henry's the first one to practice, the last one to leave. He's the most excited, enthusiastic kid on the whole team, but of course, he's undersized. Henry's 5'3", 148 pounds, and he's playing back fourth string running back behind this great All-American, Lionel Johnson. Well, true story, every single game from freshman year to senior year, Henry runs off the field. And from stands, he hears the same whistle back. That's his pop. He never, ever misses a game. Well, senior year, last game of the season, Georgetown versus Fordham for the league championship. And it's Thursday afternoon, and Haggerty's putting him through these tough workouts. And Henry's holding the bag right out there at linebacker when all of a sudden there's a phone call in the trainer's office. Trainer picks it up. "No, ma'am, no, ma'am. We could never interrupt practice, no." Oh, ma'am. Yes, I will." "Coach, you got to send Henry in here just for a minute. We got an emergency." Henry looks, he jogs off the field, runs in, grabs the phone, and it's his mom. And his mom tells Henry his dad has died that morning of a massive heart attack. And Henry's got to come home immediately. They got to bury his dad this weekend. Henry goes down to his knees. This is his bloodline, his hero. And somehow Henry musters the strength to stand himself out. He walks out to practice and tells Coach Haggerty what's happened. Haggerty pulls the whole team in and says, "Guys, we got to win this game, win this league championship for Henry and his dad. We got to do it." And then Haggerty beckons Henry over and whispers something into his ear. Henry walks off the field, packs his bag, takes the train back up to upstate New York. Well, that Saturday came, Georgetown versus Fordham, and Coach Haggerty's in his office scripting the first 12 plays, when all of a sudden, there's a knock on the door. Haggerty goes, "Who's there?" And in the door walks Henry Peterson. Henry walks up to Coach Haggerty and says, "Coach, remember when I left on Thursday? You told me, you whispered in my ear, you would do anything for me? Coach, I got to start in this game today." Well, Haggerty didn't know what to say. He loved Henry like a son, but he also needed to win this game. He looked Henry square in the eye and said, "Son, you go in there and get dressed. You're going to start in this game." He got on the phone, told his assistants, and told them we're going to play him 3 plays. Give him his wish come true. We got to do it, and then we'll put Lionel Johnson back in, and we'll play for the win. But I got to give Henry this chance. Well, they did. And Georgetown, they received a kickoff from Fordham at 2 p.m. that afternoon. And that running back ran it right up to the 21, and all of a sudden, little Henry Peterson goes running out onto the field. All the reporters are like, "Where's Johnson? Where's Johnson? What's the kid doing out there?" Got in the huddle. "All right, guys, you know what's going to happen here. Henry's only got 3 plays. Let's do our best for him. Let's go 21 blast, 21 blast. Henry, just get yourself and shield that defensive end. Just get your body in front of him, Henry. Do the best you can." "Blue 28. Blue 28. Set, hut. Quarterback took the ball, opened up, handed the ball to that fullback, and Henry took off at that defensive end. And he not only shielded him, He took his forearms and pounded that kid right to the ground. He pancaked him. I mean, all the coaches put their hands to their head. Did you see that? That was unbelievable. Henry came jogging back for play number 2. Henry, good block, baby. All right, Henry, you know what we're doing here. We're on 37 belly. Henry, if you can, get in that A gap and take out that linebacker. He's the best tackler in the league, Henry. Do the best you can. Henry got down in the stance. Quarterback Schmidt took the ball. Red 18, red 18. Set, hut. Reverse pivoted, handed that ball off to that fullback. And Henry took off like a toaster. He took off like a piece of toast coming out of a toaster. Bang! Through that A gap and ba-boom! Leveled that linebacker. Circled back outside, picked up the free safety, and then looked back inside and bang! Put a hit on that cornerback that people couldn't believe. All the coaches put their hands on their head. They couldn't believe it. Henry's last play. This is it. All right, guys. Henry, incredible block. You got one play. You're going to run it now. Do the best you can, will you, Henry? Well, you know the play. 47 sweep. Henry, you can do it. Red 18. Set, hut. Bang. Quarterback took the ball. Reverse pivoted. Tossed the ball to Henry. He took it on his hip. And wouldn't you know it, that Will linebacker was on a blitz through the C gap, came running through, and all of a sudden, bang! Henry takes his forearm and knocks the kid down. Henry runs 3 more steps up that side, and from the back, that defensive tackle horse-collared him. Henry ripped his way out of that horse collar and then ran over 2 tacklers, and then suddenly 3 players jumped on Henry's back, and he carried them another 21 yards for a first down. Lionel Johnson came racing off the sideline, but Coach Haggerty horse-collared him and said, "Sit down, son." Well, Henry Peterson never left that game. He ran for 278 yards and 4 touchdowns and led Georgetown to that league championship. He was carried off the field by all of his teammates, and the reporters were just shocked. They got him in the training room. Everyone wanted to talk to him. They'd never seen anything like this. And Haggerty waited in his office. "You got to bring that kid in. I can't believe it." After the dust cleared, Henry walked into the office, and Coach Haggerty looked at Henry and shook his head. He said, "Son, I've never seen anything like that in my life. But what happened? I've watched you for 4 years, and I've never seen anything like this." Henry looked at Coach Haggerty and said, "Coach, you never met my dad. He was at every game. He was my hero. He's the man I admired and respect more than anybody in my entire life. And Coach, you didn't know one thing about him. He was blind. And Coach, this is the first game that he ever saw me play. And I wanted to show him how much I love, admired, and how thankful I am for everything he did for me." Maybe we shouldn't wait. Maybe we shouldn't wait until it's too late, until we leave or the people that we love leave, before we show them who we are at our best self. This is a story of inspiration of one person. But the greatest story ever told has got to be your story. Don't forget it. You can do anything. If there's a big enough reason why, you'll always find the how. Have a great day.